Hi everyone, my name is Jason Lenny and I'm the product director for CI/CD here at GitLab. Today I'm going to be doing a product walkthrough, exploring some of the features in the verify and package stages. So what I'm going to do is create a new project. I'm going to get it building using GitLab CI and preferably Auto DevOps, so it's all automatic. I'm going to deploy it to the container registry, and then that should be everything. I've done this stuff before, but it's been a while since I've done it, so I'm not fresh, which is actually the intent. I want to, as best I can, replicate the experience of somebody trying this with limited familiarity with these features. It's not entirely possible being the product manager for this area, but that's the goal. So let's go ahead and dive in. The first thing to do is create a new project. I'll just go ahead and make this a blank project. Again, doing this blind so that I can have the closest experience to doing this naturally. So I haven't practiced this ahead of time. So if I run into trouble, that you know why. So project name, we'll just call it product walkthrough 1. We'll make it a public project and go ahead and initialize with the README. This should be good. All right, and let's, I'm gonna keep this as simple as possible and just do container-based, A, because a lot of teams are building containers these days, and B, I can get something really, really simple going. So let's go ahead and open up the Web IDE. And we'll just add a Docker file. And if I can remember my syntax here, from Alpine, command just echo hello world is fine. I don't know if I need those spaces, so I'm going to check Dockerfile docs, or Dockerfile syntax. Yeah, that's a good one. This looks good. Yeah, okay, so there's no colon. Yeah, so looks like I've got the right thing here. Just need to change the syntax a bit. And this should be, you know, a very, very simple version of what we're looking to do. Stage our change, commit, add Dockerfile, add simple Dockerfile. Great. I didn't really need to make this a merge request. In fact, let's just go back and do this a bit differently. Why is it not 0 unstaged? Looks like there was just an update to the Web IDE, so things are looking a little bit different than I'm used to, but it's pretty close. So yeah, I'm fine with this commit. Okay, so with that done, we should now have a Docker file in our repository. However, we don't. I don't know what the, I committed to that branch again. Okay, let's try this again. Docker file. So from Alpine, command echo hello world. And then, yes, let's not do that. Let's commit to master. So add Docker file. Great, now I think we've actually done it. Should have the file here. So let's enable Auto DevOps and see what it does with my Docker file here. That's fine. We don't necessarily need to deploy anything right now, so let's just call it continuous deployment to production. All right, and let's see what our pipeline is doing. The other thing I'm going to do next is enable the package registry and deploy there. Or sorry, the container registry. Unless Auto DevOps does it automatically for me, which would be great. I think the lag that's happening here is on my end. I'm I'm not in a place with the best internet. That's my son. Okay, so it does look like the container registry is enabled. So there doesn't look like it doesn't look like I need to do anything there. So let's go ahead and track our pipeline and see if it's going to automatically take care of that for me. Yep, looks like I'm getting container scanning and all of that. It's not doing the deploy steps for Auto DevOps because I don't have an environment set up. You can follow along the build here. It looks like it's actually going well. Yep, looks like it's building our container image. And it does look like it's actually pushed directly to the container registry. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. Yep, it's right here. So that's a pretty nice workflow. That was actually a little easier than it was last time I tried doing this. Auto DevOps looks like it's done good things for me. And my Docker file is very simple, but it did the thing that it needs to do. Let's go ahead and monitor the rest of our pipeline and see what else it's going to do for us. So it looks like we're getting code quality running, which is great. Container scanning, dependency scanning, license management, SAST, and testing is what's happening. It's really cool that all of that's happening automatically with nothing really to configure. The workflow for generating containers is so nice. I'm really a fan of that. If you can target containers as your build artifacts, then you're in a great spot. One thing that I want to do in the next go around is take advantage of our releases feature, which is here in project releases. In the next release, we're going to be delivering the ability to add and edit these through the user experience on the web. You can do it through the API today, but it's a little clunky, I have to admit, and I'd also have to paste my user access token in order to demo that, so I'm not going to do that. But in the next one of these, I'll do the same workflow, but I'll also create a release ahead of time, and my package will then I'll release my package, and I'll show you how you can subscribe to them, subscribe to releases and everything. It's pretty cool. So this is still running. I saw that something had finished. So container scanning ran and passed. Looks like SAST passed. Looks like testing failed. So I'm curious about that. It's probably me having messed up my my syntax somehow in there. All right, no unapproved vulnerabilities. That's great. It's a very simple package, so looks like SAST is run with no issues as well. Let's see what the test did. It failed on selecting a build pack for this. I'm not exactly sure what's going on there, so this is something to look into. It may be because it may be dependent on the environment, in which case we can make this more clear that that's what's actually going wrong. In fact, looking at this, it does look like that's what's happening. So this test job does appear to be dependent on having your Kubernetes cluster set up. So we should probably just not run it if the Kubernetes cluster isn't set up, just like we don't do any of the deployment jobs or anything like that. So it'll be a good follow-up item for us. But I'll also make sure that that's actually what's going on there. We're getting our code quality scan running. These aren't really doing much, of course, because there's not really much code or anything in here that it's doing right now. But looks like code climate is being downloaded and running, and that would give me code quality statistics if I had some custom scripts in here, things like that it was able to analyze. But overall, yeah, I'm impressed with the experience. I think this is pretty nice. It'll be nice to add the release to this flow. And maybe for the next one, I'll also put in a custom bit of code or something that I can run instead of just echoing hello world inside of the container. I'll also get a Kubernetes integration set up so that we can see more of the flow and how the deploy CD side of things works. But I hope you enjoyed this. I won't wait for the code quality to run because it isn't going to tell us really anything interesting. But I do hope that you enjoyed this video. I'm happy to have recorded it. We'll be sharing it with the team and recording these on an ongoing basis to make sure that we're improving kind of how easy this is, how reliable it is, and adding more complexity and features to the product walkthrough in order to really demonstrate what you can do with GitLab. So thanks again. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. My name again is Jason Lenny. I'm the Director for Product for CI/CD. Thanks.